Calvin's new obsession?
Does Rob envy Melissa's star?
What's next for Kelly after Harrison?
Is Billy the idol of the new generation?
Entertainment Tonight brings you some pomp and some circumstance for Thursday, March 14th, 1985.
Go ahead, make my day.
Hello again, everybody. I'm Mary Hart.
And I'm Rob Weller. We begin our show today with a commercial designed to sell a new perfume. The scent of controversy is already in the air. Lisa Gibbons has details in our news studio. Lisa?
Rob, it seems nothing comes between designer Calvin Klein and controversy, and his latest obsession is with a perfume of the same name.
In the kingdom of passion, the ruler is obsession. Calvin Klein's obsession.
I will not tell you what the message is behind my commercials.
All heat and hunger.
Klein's new batch of commercials are at the very least provocative. The 30-second spots for his new fragrance were directed by famed still photographer Richard Avedon and artfully blend black and white with color sequences to tell the tale of the love of a woman. That theme is not new to perfume commercials, but once again, Klein uses shock value. He explores that love through a surprising assortment of infatuated suitors.
She left, and everything golden went with her. She was a fever from which I will never recover.
I dread to think what became of her. She loved me, and she's gone.
What I try to do is something that's creative, something that's very beautiful, something that's very sensual. It starts with the perfume itself, and the commercials are truly a reflection of what obsession is all about.
Ah, the smell of it.
But, will it play in Peoria? We'll soon find out with all three networks running the commercials as of today. Mary?
Thank you, Lisa. There will be no negotiations in the continuing Writers Guild walkout before next Monday's vote, but there has been some action. The WGA has decided to allow Larry Gilbert and team to finish work on the script for the Oscar ceremony. Gilbert, who developed the TV series MASH, has been an outspoken supporter of the current writers' strike. Academy Awards show producers confirmed today that Phil Collins indeed will not be among the performers on this month's Oscar telecast. Instead, Anne Reinking will sing and dance to Collins' nominated song Against All Odds, a decision producers say was based on, quote, pure showmanship. Collins has expressed disappointment over not being invited to be a part of the ceremony. He turns out to be one of 3 artists up for the Best Song Award who will have to enjoy the show from the audience.
In New York, women in the broadcast media handed out awards yesterday at the Waldorf Astoria. They were honoring work beneficial to issues affecting women and society. Dixie Watley was there.
Interest in these awards has been growing ever since they were created 10 years ago by American women in radio and television. Among those supporters standing up and being counted this year were Loretta Swit, Coretta Scott King, and Phyllis George.
It brings people's awareness to the fact that women have and still are growing, becoming more assertive, are supportive of each other.
Recipients of these honors include commercials, public service announcements, and network television movies. The common denominator here is a media-conveyed message, which portrays a realistic and positive image of women.
Someday to run. Soup looks good.
A Campbell's Soup commercial entitled Runner was honored, as was a breast examination public service announcement made with Nell Carter. Victim for Victims, the Teresa Saldana story, was cited on the entertainment side of television, while 60 Minutes won an award for a segment called Till Death Do Us Part. It was an eclectic group of winners, but the consensus was that every portrayal counts.
And I'm very proud to be part of a network that proves that rock and roll radio can have a conscience, too. Thank you very much.
I think it's important. I think it's progress of its own kind. I think that we will always award excellence. So it's only right that we award excellence for the way we're portraying women.
Dixie Watley, Entertainment Tonight.
Hustler magazine publisher Larry Flynt isn't going anywhere, at least for 60 days. That's the sentence he drew Wednesday for a 1983 incident in which he interrupted a Supreme Court session with an obscene outburst while unlawfully wearing a Purple Heart War Medal. And General Hospital star Chris Robinson can go to work, but he can't go anywhere else. Robinson, who plays Dr. Rick Weber on the popular ABC soap, convinced a judge to allow him to continue on the show while serving a 4-month sentence at a guarded community treatment center for failing to report nearly $500,000 in income. Last week, the same judge had sentenced him to federal prison. Robinson argued that incarceration would hurt the show and impede his ability to pay back taxes still owed.
ABC's Good Morning America increased its lead over the competition last week for its largest margin of victory since August of last year. GMA pulled in a 5.8 average, NBC's Today Show a 4.6, and CBS's Morning Show a 3.5. It was Good Morning America's 162nd straight win.
Actress Melissa Gilbert yesterday made the long trip from a little prairie house to a big star on Hollywood's Walk of Fame.
Melissa Gilbert has been acting since she was 7 years old, from Little House on the Prairie to her new feature film, Sylvester. Her fans enthusiastically turned out to see her honored in a traditional Hollywood ceremony, the awarding of a star on Hollywood's Walk of Fame. There are now 1,800 stars along Hollywood's Walk of Fame. Before Melissa, none that shine brighter than the one that has her name on it.
It's all happened at such an incredible time. I turned 20. I did my first feature film. I got wonderful reviews. I got my star on Hollywood Boulevard. It's been one of those incredible years.
She's a special girl in your life. How do you feel for her?
Her standing here, you know, I tell her that, you know, you get sometimes jaded at being in Hollywood a long time, but this is really exciting. There aren't many things like this. I mean, it would be a dream for me, so I'm living vicariously through Melissa today.
Alan Arthur, Entertainment Tonight.
Next, Kelly McGillis. What does the co-star of Witness have to testify about her work?
And ahead, Billy Idol. Why is the rock singer rolling on to the movies?
Sugar-free Jell-O gelatin, what are you up to now? We grab an apple and give it zing. We peel an orange and have a fling. We're up to something and it should be understood. Sugar-free Jell-O gelatin, we're up to something good. We turn a carrot into a treat. We're low in calories, we got NutraSweet. We're up to something and that something is good. Look for our recipes and magazines. Sugar-free Jell-O gelatin, we're up to something good.
About an hour then.
When he's late bringing home the bacon.
Another hour.
His favorite dish.
Another hour.
Becomes your least favorite to clean.
Yuck.
But only Sunlight dishwashing liquid has the juice of one whole lemon to do one tough job. Lemon Sunlight cuts baked on, caked on, stuck on food. Even grease.
Back soon?
About an hour.
Lemon Sunlight with one whole lemon to do one tough job.
Here, Bobby. Let me show you how to pitch. That's my orange. Relax. To throw a fastball, you put 2 fingers right on the sun kiss. But for a slider, you put your fingers across the sun kiss. Okay, now can I have my orange back? Yeah, after I show you the sweetest pitch of all.
A sun-kissed orange is always sweet and juicy. You have our word on it.
I knew when he took it, he'd eat my orange.
It's a land rich in tradition. It's a land rich in technology. It's temples and geishas and sumo wrestlers. And cars, robots, and computers. What's it like to live and work in a country where tradition and technology range from the ancient to the avant-garde? Find out as Joe Day takes you inside Japan, the remarkable story of a nation defeated in 1945 and triumphant in 1985. Inside Japan, a New England News Extra starting Tuesday at 6 on Channel 7.
Entertainment Tonight has learned that actress Kelly McGillis has been signed to star in the upcoming sequel to Chinatown, starring Jack Nicholson and Robert Evans. Her performance in the country's current top box office attraction, Witness, is testimony that Kelly McGillis is one of Hollywood's rising young stars. Jean Wolfe reports.
She has an irrepressible, gutsy kind of laugh. Her famous co-stars intimidate her. Harrison Ford in Witness.
I had seen Raiders quite a few times, and he's such a big persona to me.
Tom Conti in Reuben Reuben.
I was so terrified to stand up next to him because I'm taller than he is. So I always sort of wear my flattest shoes, and I thought, he's just going to say, I don't like her, she's too tall.
Christopher Plummer in Peccadillo, a new stage play which just opened in Florida.
I thought, you know, this guy's going to think here's a new kid on the block and forget it.
And predictions are she'll be a star because of her performance as a simple living Amish widow in Witness.
We're all very happy that you're going to live, John Book. We didn't know what we were going to do with you if you died.
Actually, I admire it a great deal, that culture, the quality of simplicity. I wish I could get all the crud out of my life and be simple. You know, it's a wonderful thing.
Was it difficult for you to play, in these times when just everything goes, a woman who had to resist yielding to her attraction?
That was the thing that fascinated me about doing her, that sort of battle within herself of being Amish and having the religious shadow over her, and then being a woman and having these feelings and emotions and that struggle. That was the great fun and challenge in doing her.
Now the career challenge will be to follow Witness with another winner at a time when Kelly is being called the next Liv Ullmann, the next Grace Kelly.
I've never had someone that I've tried to emulate in any way, shape, or form. And actually, I don't go see a lot of plays and a lot of movies for the fear that I will subconsciously try to emulate somebody else's style, which is a very peculiar neuroses, I think. But really, I never thought of myself as wanting to be anybody else other than who I am.
Are you prepared for success?
I don't know. I guess you hear stories about people having a hard time dealing with success and they become very self-destructive. But I don't think I will. I think I'll like it.
ABC debuts a new Friday night comedy block tomorrow, and Off the Rack is one of the shows it's counting on to mend its ratings woes. The sitcom stars Ed Asner and Eileen Brennan in roles the network thinks are tailor-made for the two acting veterans.
Real nice out there, Kate. A gathering of every fruit and nut in Los Angeles.
You can't judge people by their looks. You, of all people, should know that.
In the series, Asner and Brennan play co-owners of a clothing business. They're thrown together in the partnership, which is a lot like being cast together as co-stars in a TV show.
She's behaving herself, I'm happy to tell the world. And I suppose I've had something to do with that. Tight grip on her.
He's a big teddy bear. Real gruff and everything, but underneath he's just sponge.
ABC has invested plenty of hope in the new show, including a gamble on a challenging time slot. Friday nights against Dallas.
If anything is going to make a dent in Dallas, it probably will be a comedy block.
It's not what I would call a dream time slot, but we're on the air, which is something we weren't 6 months ago.
With so much emphasis in TV today on youth-oriented comedy, the pairing of veterans Asner and Brennan represents something of a departure for ABC.
Comedy doesn't really have an age. I think that it really comes down to how appealing the actors are, how funny the material is. Other than that, it doesn't matter.
Is Alan Fun hanging around or what?
Here's our ET Digest for Thursday, the 14th of March. On television, the first episode of Sherlock Holmes series, A Scandal in Bohemia, on the PBS series Mystery. John Forsythe hosts the 11th Annual People's Choice Awards on CBS. New in the video store, 3 episodes of Night Gallery from Rod Serling's TV series, and Spartacus, starring Kirk Douglas and Laurence Olivier. On stage, Oscar nominee Lindsay Krause stars in The Cherry Orchard, opening tonight at the Goodman Theater in Chicago. And celebrating their birthdays today are Adrian Zemed, who is 31, former co-anchor of the Today Show, J. Fred Muggs, he turns 33, Billy Crystal, 36, Michael Caine turned 52, as does Quincy Jones.
When we return, Billy Idol. Underneath all the leather and studs, is the bad boy of rock and roll really so bad?
Visit Somerville Lumber now during their Home Show Spectacular Sale. Guaranteed match and guaranteed savings when you buy quality Colony paint at Somerville Lumber. Colony satin tone flat latex wall paint regularly $13.59, now just $9.59. Satin tone latex and ammo regularly $17.59, now just $12.59.
Don't do it yourself without us.
Somerville Lumber. Somerville, Westboro, and our newest location, Route 24, West Bridgewater.
Lincoln Mercury announces 8.8 annual percentage rate financing on the 1985 Mercury Topaz. The interest in Topaz has never been better. Sleek shape, front-wheel drive, over 50 standard features. And now 8.8 annual percentage rate financing on any new Topaz delivered by April 22nd, 1985. Mercury Topaz, shaped to get your attention. Now it has your interest with 8.8 annual percentage rate financing through April 22nd. At your participating Lincoln Mercury dealer now.
Was this hamburger just made?
It looks old.
No one asked if a fine wine was just made. For you see, a fine wine has to be aged. The longer it sits, the better it is.
But
you must think of what you see here as our wine cellar.
But I don't want one.
A fine cheese has to be aged also. Think of the classic French camembert. Paris, Marseille, the mountains of France.
Am I not explaining myself right?
At Wendy's, our hamburgers are always served fresh, hot off the grill. The others can't promise that.
Is it possible that Pittsburgh is the #1 city to live in? How do Bostonians feel about living in the #2 city? I'm Susan Sikora. On Friday, Dave Maynard from WBZ Radio joins Goodwill ambassadors from Pittsburgh to answer the question, is Pittsburgh really #1? What do you think? Join us and we'll decide Friday at 10 on Morning Live.
Billy Idol, the rebel rock and roller, is nothing short of controversial. In New York yesterday, the punk rocker talked with Barbara Howard, who asked if his outrageous appearance was a gimmick or a serious statement.
To be quite honest, I don't think you'd walk about looking like this if you didn't really mean it. I mean, you know, it takes a lot of time to get my hair to stand up on end.
It hasn't taken Billy Idol long to make a lot of other folks' hair stand on end. To put it mildly, concerned organizations across the country took great exception to a recent cover of Rolling Stone, which featured the rock star in a studded leather bikini decorated with crosses and crucifixes. The National Federation of Decency was sufficiently outraged to have the magazine removed from news racks in several cities.
I like the idea of the cross. It's brilliant. It's really about life, not death. And I wish people would stop calling me a Satanist, because it's really aggravating to find that people, you know, really do believe that I could possibly really want to see people hurt, you know.
Do you deliberately set about to rile everybody up, or do you just do what you do?
No, I don't think about them at all. I only think about what I'm trying to say in a song. I've got nothing against religion or good people or whatever. What I've got something against is ugliness and bondage. And my songs are about how some conventions in society can make you in a sort of a bondage of its own.
Do you think the average 14-year-old rock video viewer understands that you're rebelling against something like bondage rather than supporting it?
Yeah, I think they do. You know, they're not so idiotic enough to really have an axe to grind. You know, they really are open enough to see. The other thing is, you know, I'm speaking a lot on their level, really.
While certainly not on everybody's new wave length, Idol was the only recording artist in 1984 with 3 albums simultaneously on the top grossing charts. And the ring of the cash register is clearly beautiful music to Hollywood filmmakers anxious to capitalize on the rebels' yell.
I know it can seem very insulting to other actors, but the fact that I can never have acted in my life and get money for a film and stuff, I probably got more control than most actors have. Which is ridiculous, yet that's what I got. So I'm gonna take it.
A movie isn't all the future holds. Another album's in the works, again with colleague and guitarist Steve Stevens.
He really understands so much about me as a person, which is what I needed at a time when most other musicians, well, you know, I mean, they didn't want to know.
That doesn't sound like the arrogant, cocky Billy Idol we've come to know. Sounds like a very decent person talking there.
Well, you know, there's people get, like I say, people get the wrong idea sometimes about me. There's lots of sides to you. It's just very difficult to be able to get all of those out at one time. I think people are going to gradually find out really who I am.
Suppose people find out that Billy Idol is really an intelligent, decent, talented person. Would that be a great insult to you?
Well, I think the decent bit would be, because I'm indecent, definitely.
Billy isn't the only idol in the music world today. Here's Carol Miller from New York with updates on Michael Jackson, Prince, and others.
The big news this week is the release of the We Are the World video featuring just about every major artist and his uncle. If you look closely, you'll notice that Michael Jackson looks especially glamorous because he had his portion of the video reshot. Late flash, the new Prince album will be out in a few weeks. It's called Around the World in a Day and features at least one song co-written by Prince and his father. Prince will be playing the Orange Bowl on April 7th, and any rumors you may have heard about a follow-up to Purple Rain are still just rumors. No longer just a rumor, Emerson, Lake, and Powell? How does that sound? Not exactly Emerson, Lake, and Palmer, but close. Keyboard player Keith Emerson and vocalist Greg Lake are back together and have added drummer Cozy Powell, formerly with Jeff Beck. They've completed nearly all the songs for a new album due out late this summer. Will they recapture the success they had in the early 70s? Well, Deep Purple did it. The original members are back together after 10 years of touring the world, and their new album, Perfect Strangers, has just gone platinum. They got their award this past weekend after a great sellout show in the New York area. And finally, it was after an REO Speedwagon concert in Fresno, California, that a delivery boy knocked on the door of the group's dressing room and asked, "Which one of you guys is Mario?" "Mario?" said Gary Richrath. "Yeah," said the guy. "I got a pizza here for a Mario Speedwagon." I'm Carol Miller. Entertainment Tonight.
Which one of this year's nominees would you choose as Best Picture? Well, Entertainment Tonight is conducting a 900 telephone survey to find out. The results will be announced this weekend during Part 2 of Entertainment This Week's Countdown to the Academy Awards. To cast a vote for Amadeus, just call 1-900-210-1222. If you think The Killing Field should win the Academy Award, dial 1-900-210-1223. For A Passage to India, phone 1-900-210-1224. To choose Places in the Heart, 1-900-210-1225. And to cast your vote for A Soldier Story, call 1-900-210-1226. Your phone call will cost you 50 cents, and in a few areas of the country, dialing 1 may not be necessary. Today is your last chance, so phone in your choice for the year's Best Picture. Tomorrow on Entertainment Tonight, Olivia de Havilland. Did the Gone with the Wind star find acting a breeze?
And this weekend on Entertainment This Week, ETW's Countdown to the Oscars Part 2. What movie should take Best Picture? We'll size up the competition and present the results of our 900 poll with your choice for the Academy Award.
The fabulous Queen Elizabeth II returns to Boston for 3 special summer sailings. Enjoy an 8-day cruise June 19th to sunny Bermuda, Halifax, and Bar Harbor, too. Or take advantage of the strong U.S. dollar. Go to Europe and do it in style. Enjoy the romance and tradition of a transatlantic crossing June 14th or June 27th. Crimson Travel and Cunard include one-way free airfare, too. QE2 offers more than any other ship afloat. Call Crimson Travel now.
Lately, AT&T has been saying, the more you hear, the better they sound. Well, hear this. MCI can save you money over AT&T on long distance anytime, 24 hours a day. And MCI goes everywhere AT&T goes, to every phone in any other state. Now, I don't know about you, but I haven't heard anything from AT&T that sounds better than MCI.
Call MCI because MCI saves you over AT&T anytime on all your out-of-state calls.
Nothing burns me like running all over a discount store hunting for something. Hello out there. No help in sight. But today I'm at Zayre looking for something when I spot this customer service phone. I pick it up, and this really nice person tells me to look one aisle over. Save me running all over the store. And if I'm going to be running around, I'd rather be running around up here.
Zayre, we like to make Zayre your star. Zayre.
Yes, it's true. Channel 7 is giving away tickets to see Prince at the Worcester Centre March 27th and 28th. That's right. You can win a pair of free tickets to see Prince. Just send your name, address, phone number, and the word 7 on a piece of purple paper to I Feel Good About Prince. Box 7777, Government Center, Boston, Mass. 02114. Then tune into Hot Hit Video midnight March 15th to see if you're one of our 10 big winners.
Until a few years ago, it was Hollywood that was borrowing books, hoping to turn bestsellers into top-rated shows. These days, however, it seems to be the other way around. More and more publishers are trading on a program's popularity and getting their TV tie-in books on the bestseller lists. Dick Shoemaker files this report.
Evergreen, Ellis Island, A Woman of Substance, Shogun, The Far Pavilions. What do all these titles have in common? Why, they are tied into television shows, and that's a big help in boosting book sales. Some people may not realize the PBS series The Jewel and the Crown was based on 4 books called the Raj Quartet. Both the books and the series outline the waning days of Britain's influence in India. The TV series is a big hit in this country. But now the books, written by Paul Scott, are no longer favored by just a few.
Now it's virtually impossible to keep the book in stock. We order the book in one day and it's gone 3 days later.
Because of the television series Jewel and the Crown?
It's definitely from the series, yeah.
The Living Planet is another popular series on PBS hosted by David Attenborough, who pops up in the most improbable places.
Most of the Earth is covered by water. In fact, 2/3 of it.
Now you can buy the book, but the pictures inside aren't the same as on TV, because still frames from a film production don't have the same visual impact when seen on the printed page. But what does it take to help make all these books bestsellers? Why, big TV ratings. So in the future, expect to see more and more books published based on how well the story plays on television. Dick Shoemaker, Entertainment Tonight.
Tomorrow on Entertainment Tonight, Glenda Jackson, who was postponed from today's show, has double duty on Broadway and in the movies. And Olivia de Havilland reminisces about her co-starring role in Gone with the Wind.
We're going to leave you today in good cheer with those classic entertainers of old, Yash and Stan Schmengi. Schmengi?
Mm-hmm.
Well, in real life, John Candy and Eugene Levy as 2 polka-playing legends who never really existed. It's all part of a wacky documentary that debuts today on HBO called The Last Polka. See you tomorrow. A 1 and a 2 and a 3.
This is meteorologist Harvey Leonard. Will the weekend bring a big chill? I'll tell you in my latest forecast coming up on the New England News at 11.
Here's your Massachusetts Daily Lottery number.